Anyway, here we go. The other direction. Okay. I put a couple of switches down here between next to the shifter, and turns out that was a bad idea. Unless I get a different type of toggle switch, one that you can't just easily push. So what happens is I keep pushing them on accident. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a problem. All right, let's see if we can get down here. You don't really have to worry about the rocks sticking up in the middle of the trail near as much. That's for darn sure. My back seems to still be hanging in there today. I guess the real test will be once I put this thing back on the trailer and I'm driving back home, and we'll see if my back holds out then. I guess that's when we're really gonna know. I do have an interesting question for anybody that has one of these machines. Let's see here. We came up that way last time, and let's just do that same thing. Let's just see if there's any problem. Yeah, that was pretty far over. Huh. But still didn't feel like it was any problem. Anyway, anybody has this machine, have you ever went to set your alignment for your front tires and run out of adjustment on the tie rods? Has anybody ever had that problem? Because the tie rods on these things are so short that it's like almost you run out of adjustment real quick. Holy smokes, we better pay attention to what we're doing here and quit talking. Yeah, that wasn't no thing but a chicken wing there. And we'll go into low range real quick here. Yeah, so that does feel different going down than it does up. I prefer going up more than like if there's something hairy, I'd rather go up something hairy than down something hairy. My dad is the opposite of me. He likes going down. I don't like he has no less problems going down. And that is not the case for me. I can go up all day. It doesn't bother me. Uh-oh, that doesn't look right. But it does look like it meets up with where we're going. Is that oh man. Let me see. Yeah, this meets up. Yeah, we should try this because it just meets up with where we're going. Let's try it. See what happens. Well, we have to get back on there. It's kind of hard. Kind of hard to use this tiny screen, but I'm used to a bigger one. I wonder if this is going to be worse or what. I can't see where we're going. It might be a little worse. We'll take this and see what the deal is. I don't think I've ever gone this way, but it's just like a little side path it looks like on the map. Holy shnikes. This might have been a mistake. I don't know. We'll see. Whew, man, oh man. Well, I'm glad I got some of that lift now. Some big rocks. Oh man. There's not really a way to turn around either, man. It's really, really narrow. I probably, since I was by myself, probably should have stayed on the known trail. I could turn around right here, probably. I don't know. There's a pretty steep hill up here. Yikes. What the hell was I thinking? Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, that doesn't look great. Oh. Well, this just got a lot more exciting, didn't it? Now I can turn around if I so decide to. That's a good spot to turn around if I was going to. We're pretty close to the where it meets up. Let me see what this looks like here. Yeah. I don't know, man. Huh. What to do, what to do. What do you guys want to do? Go for it? Alright. Let's see what we got here. Like I always say, I'd rather go down than up. Oh boy. Boy, this looks pretty gnarly. Oh, slow down. Should be meeting back up with the trail that we was on before, right up here. Should be an obvious turn to the right soon. Okay, I see the trail going over that way. Okay, I think we got it. I think now we are back on the trail that we came in on, thank goodness. Now we're in the known. But that got pretty hairy, didn't it? Woo! Hopefully that was recording. That was pretty gnarly, man. I'm out here by myself like an idiot. I'm wearing shorts. It's getting dark. Oh man, probably gonna drop like 30 degrees or something tonight. So yeah, you could say that it wasn't too smart what I was doing. Okay. Does seem to be a little bit more difficult this direction. I gotta say, oh, it didn't hit. I was thought for sure it was gonna hit, but looks like those extra inches helped out right there. Okay, now there's a couple of hairy spots we got to get through, and one of them's coming up, and it's going to be off camber to my side, which is, makes it a whole lot more, or a whole lot less fun. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that feels a lot more tippy when it's on your side. I'll tell you that right now. And got through that part. Okay, so that's probably the scariest part, I'm thinking, of the whole thing, was that tipping to my side off the edge of the mountain. That's probably not my favorite, but again, tipping to my side does make it a little bit more concerning sometimes, yeah. And let's see. I think we should be able to get a decent clip going after we get to the turn. Okay, so let's talk about how difficult was it to install the cubic dollar lift kit. Let's start with the front. The front is a lot easier than I expected it to be. I thought the front was going to be the harder of the two. Turns out it wasn't for me. The hardest part was, just getting the brackets in place and stuff. But let's see here. Hold on. Let's pay attention to what we're doing here. So the front wasn't hard. The front clip comes off surprisingly easy. Getting it back on is a little bit harder than taking it off, I think. And that's only because the two little wings that are on each side of the front clip, they have to be lined up, and you'll go to one side, line it up, push it in, and then the other side pops out, and you're like, so back and forth you go. You just have to take your time, and you'll get it. It's it's not a big deal. It's just getting it back on can be just a little bit frustrating. Now, the rear, I thought was a mamba jamba. Getting that, bolt up inside the frame, to hold the bracket in place, that's not, super easy to do, but I got it done. I just used the tape on a box end wrench trick, and that did the trick. But then when I tightened it up, the wrench got like jammed in there to where I couldn't get it out, and man, so it's a bit of a hassle. But I will tell you one thing. Here's a pro tip for you. Ooh, this is steep as hell. Here's a pro tip, and if you listen to what I'm saying, it'll go a lot easier for you. You have to compress the springs and the rear all the way down to where the collar starts to get released. Like if you were wanting to change the springs, you collapse the spring all the way down to where like the collar is starting to come loose, and maybe even a little more. I mean, you have to compress the springs in the rear a little bit more than you think. The instructions say just to take the tension, off basically. And, it's a little bit more than that. I'll tell you that. So, that's a pro tip. If you listen to that tip right there, your experience putting the lift kit on will go a lot smoother, I think. It's just, and also, you might, those spring compressors that you use for cars that you can rent at, um, like AutoZone or Checker Auto, different places like that that you can rent them. Those types of spring compressors. Well, those are not good for this job. There are better ones that you can buy on Amazon, but that's the one that I used, and it worked. Like, I got the job done, but if I was going to do it again, or if I ever mess with these springs and shocks or anything in the future, I will be getting a better spring compressor. You know, um, I might put a link in the description of this video to the one that I would use if I were, that I would buy if I were going to do it again. So that might be useful for you. I just think it would have gone a lot better if I would have had a better spring compressor, or one that fit the springs a little better. But let's see here. As far as the ride goes, at a little bit faster clip. I mean, we're moving a little bit faster right now. Um, it still feels really good, you know. So I'm happy with the removal of the rear sway bar, and I'm not putting it back on. And besides that, it's a real bitch to get out. So yeah, the rear sway bar is a real whore dog to get out. So just know that up front. So what I did, instead of going through the process of taking the entire lower part of the rear suspension apart to get this thing out, because you got to take the lower A arm off, and do that kind of crap. So what I did is I just cheated, and I got me a Sawzall, and I cut the rear sway bar on both sides of the bracket, and just removed each side individually. That's what I did. And a new sway bar, if you make a mistake and you're like, I don't like this, I want to put it back on, a new sway bar is $100. So just give you an idea of what you'd be facing if you wanted to put it back on. And so it's not that big a deal. If you cut it off, it's just way easier. You can cut it off in like 30 minutes, or you can take apart the entire rear suspension to get that out. It's up to you. I really honestly didn't think I was going to want to put it back in, so I just got out some good blades and cut through that. Now, it took a while to cut through that bar twice. It takes a little while. You got to have a pretty good Sawzall, but I suppose any Sawzall eventually will cut through it with enough good blades. But it did, cutting through that, I did decide to buy me a new Sawzall. I got me a better, more powerful one now, in case I ever have to do something like that again. I pretty well burned up the switch and my Sawzall, because it was just a cheap, like Weekend Warrior type Sawzall. It was made by Skill, and it just wasn't a very good Sawzall. So what ended up happening is, because I was holding the trigger for like 30 minutes trying to cut through this thing, the switch burned out. So now when you pull the trigger, it just stays on, and you have to unplug it to get it to stop. So that's not safe. So that's going to go in the round file. I'm not going to take it apart and replace the switch or anything. It's not worth it. So I went out and bought me a new Sawzall, more powerful, and that's what I did. So if I ever have to cut through another sway bar, I will have a better Sawzall to do it, kind of thing. But we should be back at the truck pretty soon. That sun is really low in the sky. I'd like to get back to the truck before, I'm loading the thing in the dark, kind of thing. Hopefully I won't have to do that. But I think it's a very successful test. My back seems to be holding out really well today. I didn't have any problems, and that was really rough. That was really rough terrain, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I do need to get back pretty soon because these shorts are starting to get cold. I should not have worn shorts. I don't know what I was thinking. I normally don't wear shorts, and I even had my belt in a pair of pants and everything, and I chose to wear shorts. Like, I went out of my way to wear shorts. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of stupid about that right now. Would be nice if we could get the hell out of here, though. I do have those brighter lights now. I've got all of the lights all over. I got the lights on top, and then I've got the the brighter LED front lights. So yeah, it would be kind of cool to see how they work, but I'm starting to get cold, so I'm starting not to really care how well they work. I guess we're just going to continue down here. I think you could go that way, but I'm not going to. This should, uh-oh. Did I not turn somewhere? Yeah, that's what happened. I didn't turn where I did originally, and now we're kind of off of the beaten path, but still heading the same direction. It's all good. We'll end up in the same place. So, also, there's a way to start a sentence. So, also, my dad was out with his buddies riding, and he broke his steering rack again. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, he broke it again, and he opted to have some guy fix it, and don't know who it was, kind of thing. He just found some guy that works out of his house or something, and he's gonna have him replace it, I guess, because he doesn't want to do it or whatever. Okay, now we're heading back to the truck on the main road that you have when you come in. But we should be back pretty quick. Let's turn these lights on and see what they look like right now. You really can't tell anything right now. Yeah. And then the lights up top, probably can't tell any of those. Well, you can kind of see those come on, I guess. Probably see it in the camera for sure, but yeah, it's not dark enough for those to do any good yet. And we're going to be back at the truck in just a jiffy here. And yeah, well, thanks for riding along with me, guys. This is kind of a different video than a lot of guys do. I realize that you have to have a normal attention span and not a TikTok attention span in order to enjoy my videos, and I get it. So those of you that do enjoy my videos, I appreciate it. And if you would be so kind as to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. It would really help me out, and I would appreciate it a great deal. Thank you. But here we are. We're back at the truck. We're going to get this thing loaded up and get on out of here. Thanks.